Our topic is expressions and equations key vocabulary. Essential question: can you give the definitions of important key vocabulary associated with expressions and equations? So the first vocab word that you need to know is variable. And a variable, it's a symbol, and it's usually any letter, but typically in algebra they use the letter X. It's a symbol that represents an unknown value or number. So right here, that right there, that's the variable. Okay, it represents an unknown number. Okay, so what this is saying is 4 subtract 2 times an unknown number is going to have a value of 5. So this whole side right here will equal 5 because this side equals 5. And that variable represents an unknown number. And later on you're going to learn how to solve for those unknown numbers, okay? All right, the next vocab word is coefficient. And coefficient is the number in front of a variable.
Custodians, please report to the office. I have 4 custodians to the office, please. Thank you.
And if there's no number in front of the variable, then it's 1. Then there's a 1 there, but we're just kind of too lazy to write it. Okay, so let's go ahead and find the coefficient here. Right there, that minus 2, or I could say negative 2. This is the coefficient. Like I just said, if there's no number in front of the variable, then the coefficient is 1. So the coefficient is 1. Now don't get mistaken, y does not equal 1, because does 1 plus 7 equal 30? Nope. It means that there's only one y sitting right there, okay? So that's why we typically don't write the number in front of it, because if there's already just one y sitting there, why would you have to write it? So it's not wrong if you do, and it's not wrong if you don't, okay? All right, right here, again, there's no number in front of it, so just assume it's 1, and in this case it'd be a negative 1. Okay, and right here, coefficients could also be fractions and decimals. So right there, that's the coefficient. Okay, the next vocab word that you need to know for this unit is expression. And expressions, they have no equal sign, and you usually will have to simplify them. And I'll show you how to do that in just a few moments. Okay, so see how this right here, 2a plus 3a plus 5, there's no equal sign right there, and that's just an expression. 4 minus 3 times b plus 7 plus 26, that's also an expression, there's no equal sign. Okay, next up is an equation, equations. Let's find a different color pen here. Okay, they have an equal sign. And you usually have to figure out what the variable represents in order to make both sides of the equal sign equal. So in other words, with equations, you're typically going to have to solve for that unknown value, okay? So you usually figure out what number the variable represents. In order to make both sides of the equal sign equal. So basically, what you'll do, and I'm going to show it to you in the future how to do this, you need to figure out what the value of W. So 7 times W, 7 times that number we don't know, plus 3 has to equal 17. So this side, once I put that variable in there, has to equal 17 because this side equals 17. Okay? Similarly right here, this side of the equation has to equal 9 because this side equals 9. So you got to think of a number that R could be that when I put that number in there and I subtract 4, it would equal 9. Okay? So again, right here, you'd find the unknown number that when you multiply that unknown number by 3/4 and then add 10 to it, it would equal 13. And that's what we're going to be doing in the future, is solving equations, okay? All right, in the summary, this is what I want you to write, because there's another vocab word, and that word is constant. A constant is a number on its own. And in these examples, there's plenty of constants that you saw. Constant is a number on its own. It doesn't have a variable attached to it. So for example, oops, that's supposed to say example. Okay, example, if I had 4 minus 2x, well, look for the constant. It's a number on its own. It doesn't have a variable attached to it. So the constant right there is 4. Okay, another example, 7w plus 3, right there. The constant is 3. Okay, another example, 1/2 w minus 9, right there. The constant is a minus 9. Okay, on the back is another vocabulary word. The vocabulary word, its definition is the parts that make up expressions and equations. And the parts that make up expressions and equations are called terms. Okay, so in this first example, this right here is a term. And include the symbol in front of it. That's a term. That's a term. So there's 3 terms in that expression. Okay? And right here, that's a term. Right there is a term. There is a term. There is a term. And there's a term. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms in that example. Okay. Next are like terms. And like terms, they have the exact same ending. Okay? Same exact ending. Like it all matchy-matchies. Match like terms from each column. So let's practice this. So for R, we want to match that like term with something over here that has the exact same ending. Oh, that's got an R, but this is R to the 4th power. That is just plain old R. So that doesn't match. So let's find one right there. No. Oh, there it is. Right there. So this one matches with this one. Those are like terms. All right, I see next I have a constant, -3. So let's find another constant. And 1 is also a constant. It does not matter that that's -3 and this is +1. That does not matter. What matters is the very end, the ending, okay? See how this is a constant, that's a constant? There's no variable attached to its ending. So those are like terms. 6r squared, or 6r to the 2nd power. That one goes with, look for r to the 2nd power. Oh, right there. And it doesn't matter if that coefficient is a half. It doesn't matter. What matters is that ending, okay? 9xw. 9xw. Right there. That -2xw. 4x to the 3rd power. 4x to the 3rd power. Find x. Oh, there it is. 1/2 r to the 4th power. Find r to the 4th. There we go. And that last one is just w. And do I see it? Oh, some people might think, hey, that w goes with this negative 2xw because they have the same ending. Well, that's incorrect. This would have to have an xw with it for it to match. So this one doesn't have one. It doesn't have a like term. So let's go ahead and make one up. Be creative. 75/100ths w. Boom. Okay. There we go. Okay, so again, it's got to have the exact same ending. Don't be fooled and think that those two are like terms, because they're not. That's got an x with it, xw. This one's just w, so we just made one up. 75/100ths w. Okay, next vocabulary word is the word simplify. And all that word simplify means is you just make it look more simple. And when we're given an expression, the way to make it look more simple is by simply combining the like terms. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Simplify means you just combine the like terms. Okay, so here's the best strategy to do this. Sometimes people would look at this and they'll go, oh, 2x plus 3x plus 5, that should be 10x. That's incorrect. Because when I expand this out, there's 2 x's here. And there's 3 x's right there. Plus 1, 2, 3, and then plus a 5. Okay? That's all of it expanded out. You'll notice we don't know what the value of x is, so we can't go, oh, that plus that. That's incorrect. So therefore, this simplified version of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5x plus 5. Don't you dare add those together and get 10x. That's wrong. That is its simplified form. That's the answer. Okay? That's its simplified form. See how we took it and we made it more simple looking? Okay. So this one right here, I want to expand it out. 2w, there's w plus 35 plus 3 w's, w plus w plus w plus 15. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 w's plus 35 plus 15 is positive 50. Okay, so that's that answer right there. All right, so I'm going to show you a way to do this instead of expanding it all out. And what I typically would do is I would just circle the like terms, and also don't forget the symbol in front of it. So I see 2x plus 3x, and that's 5x. Okay, and then just bring down that plus 5, because it does not have a like term. So that's it, okay? All right, and then 2w plus 35 plus 3w plus 15. Again, just circle those like terms, and if there's a symbol in front of it, include it. Oops, just kidding, not that one. Okay. So those two, and I gotta get a different color out because I probably try and mess you up here. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that. So 2w plus 3w is 5w. And then the reason I told you to include that sign in front of it is because it tells you what to do. So a positive 30 plus 15 is a positive 50. Okay? You might want to pause the video and try some of these on your own. Okay, the next one. 3 times 2p is 6p, and plus 7 minus 5p plus p. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to combine those like terms. And I see 6p's, and then a minus 5p and a positive p. So 6p minus 5p is just 1p. And then 1p plus a p, that equals 2 p's, and then plus that 7 right there. Okay, so that's its simplified answer. Okay, right here, circle those like terms. So 2x to the second power plus 3x to the second power. 2x squared plus 3x squared is 5x squared. And then I'm going to go ahead and circle the like terms that go with this 4x, and oh, it's just 4x. Okay, remember, circle the sign in front of it, the symbol. Plus 1, plus 1. Okay, and that's the simplified version of that. You'll notice that I can't figure out what that unknown value is right now because there's nothing on the other side that it's supposed to equal. Okay, it doesn't say equals 12 where you could figure it out. It doesn't say that. It just says simplify that, okay? So you can't solve for the variable unless really there's an equal sign and something on the other side. And don't worry, more on that later. Okay, 8t and then a minus 4t. Don't forget to circle the symbol in front of it. 18t minus 4t is 14t. And then that minus 20 and the plus 16. Negative 20 plus 16. So think of it, underwater 20, go up 16, you're still underwater, and you're at negative 4. So put the symbol in front of it, okay? Okay, the last one right here. 1/2 r ends in r. Oh, that ends in r, and that ends in r. And remember, there's a 1 in front of that, okay? So 1/2 r plus 2r is 2.5 r minus 1 r. So wait, I see. So 2.5 r minus 1 r, and that's going to simplify all the way down to 1.5 r. Or I could also say 3/2 r. Or I guess you could even say 1 5/10 r. All those are all equal, okay? So that simplified really nicely. Simplified all the way down to just one term. Okay, for your summary, pick 2 examples in this last section, any 2. This one, that one, I don't care, any 2. Rewrite them in this space and then simplify them, okay? So copy it down and then try to cover that up and then simplify it on your own and then check and see if you got it right, okay? Have a good day.